Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life. And today I wanted to share with you my May book haul. So in the month of May, I only hauled Kindle books. I did get a new Kindle Paperwhite for Mother's Day. And this isn't the reason I only hauled Kindle books. It's mostly just that I didn't buy them from anywhere else, to be fair. Um, I have had a Kindle before, so it wasn't like I had to stockpile Kindle books when I got this thing. But I did sign up for the BookBub newsletter, inspired by Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand, because that's where she had mentioned in a video she gets a lot of her Kindle books for free or low prices. So I signed up and there were a couple that came through the emails that sounded good. So I went ahead and purchased them because the price was spot on. I think I spent less than $10 in books this month, which is good considering I bought 5 of them. So 2 books I want to talk about really quickly. I actually hauled in April, but I didn't include them in my book haul because I filmed it so early. So the first book is The Plastic Magician by Charlie N. Holmberg, which is the 4th book in the Paper Magician trilogy, or series, I guess now it would be. This book follows the events after the trilogy. The trilogy follows the same main characters. And this Plastic Magician follows a new character, but we do have old characters from the other story that are woven into this. I did read it for my OWLs last month, so I've already finished it, and that's actually the reason why I bought the book, was so that I could complete my OWLs. And the other book I hauled was on Audible, and I got The Tales of Beedle the Bard, which I already own as a physical copy. But this was part of, I think I got it for, I might have gotten it for free or a very, very discounted price. And I thought it would be fun to have the audiobook because I know that, oh, maybe that's Quidditch Through the Ages that Andrew Lincoln narrates. But I thought this one would be fun to just have and listen to when I feel like it instead of always picking it up as a physical book. So now getting into the books I actually hauled for May. The first one is The Palace of Lost Memories by C.J. Archer. This is the first book in the After the Rift series. And honestly, I kind of forgot what these books were about, so I'm going to read like the first paragraph synopses on Goodreads. So this one is: the king's magnificent palace was built in a matter of weeks. No one saw the builders, no villagers are allowed beyond the gilded gate, and only one servant has ever left. The haunted look in her eyes as she was recaptured by the palace guards is something Josie, daughter of the village doctor, has never forgotten. So this is a, I believe, young adult fantasy book, and we follow Josie, and I believe at some point the king is looking for a new wife, and they open up the gates in the palace and let people come in. It kind of gave me feelings kind of like The Selection or The Bachelor, where all of the eligible daughters are put forward and he kind of selects one out of them. So I'm not sure what that'll be, but that was kind of what intrigued me the most, so that's why I picked that one up. The next book I have is After the Fog by Kathleen Shoup, and this is the first book in the Denora story collection. I actually decided to pick this one up because it's the first book to the other one, the next one that I'll share with you. But this one, it's 1948 in the steel town of Denora, Pennsylvania, site of the infamous killing smog. Public health nurse Rose Pavlicic has risen above her orphaned upbringing and created a life that reflects everything she missed as a child. She's even managed to keep her painful secrets hidden from her doting husband, loving children, and large extended family. I think these books kind of have a little bit of a magical realism setting or vibe to them. I'm not entirely sure. I think I classified them on my spreadsheet as historical fiction, but it seems like there's some parallel times and some maybe fantastical things that go on, although I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate. hopefully I can clear that up when I finally do read them. And the second book in the series, which caused me to buy the first book, is The Strong Man and the Mermaid. And this one definitely follows two timelines. So we have Moscow, Poland in 1910. Once upon a time in tiny rural Moscow, Lucas Musial competes in feats of strength against his lifelong nemesis to win passage to America. He leaves behind grinding poverty and despair to seek the clear blue skies and better life he sees on a postcard. Settled in Dinor's Polish community, Lucas secures a coveted job in the wire mill and is matched to marry Dinor's very own Polish princess. Life is set on course. The American dream is nearly his. And then in Dinor, Pennsylvania, 1910, we have Mary Lankos is no princess. A tall, athletic girl who loves the water, she spends her days keeping house for families in town, digging coal out of a backyard seam and rowing her father across the Monongahela River for work. Mary is dependable, tenacious, and always ready to help when someone needs her. She dreams of a gas-heated home, a bedroom for each of her future children, and good meals on the table every night. To help make that happen, Mary attends local dances, waiting for the few men who are taller than her to ask her to dance, hoping one of them is right for her, something like that. There wasn't enough, and I didn't bother to screenshot the next section. So that one looks interesting. I'm excited to get into it and see what it's all about. Then I also picked up Hunted by Megan Spooner, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Basically, I think Beauty is a huntress in this, but she knows the beast's force in her bones and in her blood. Though she grew up with the city's highest aristocrats, far from her father's old lodge, she knows that the forest holds secrets and that her father is the only hunter who's ever come close to discovering them. I've been interested in that book for a little while now. I just haven't picked it up. And at the start of the year, I read A Quarter Frost and Starlight and The Heart of the Fae, which are both Beauty and the Beast retellings. And it made me kind of want to look at doing a series where I read an original fairy tale story and then compare it to 5 different retellings. So I picked up Hunted for that because I think Beauty and the Beast will be the first one that I do, since I already read 2 Beauty and the Beast inspired books at the beginning of the year. So it'll be the easiest one to check off the list since I've got 2 of 5 under my belt already. So I'll plan to read Hunted, I think maybe closer to October timeframe is when I want to look into that, or look into doing that. So that's when I'll plan to pick that up, but that's the reason I picked up Hunted. And the last book I picked up was Evensong, which is the first book in the Meredis. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but that series by Krista Walsh. And this one is about an author who wakes up inside his own novel. So author Jeff Powell wakes up to find the impossible has happened. He is within his own novel, summoned into the fictional world of Feldell's Keep by a spell he didn't write, one the house enchantress hasn't figured out how to reverse. And I thought that was just intriguing in and of itself. So obviously this is an adult fantasy, and I've been getting a lot more into adult fantasy this year, or at least trying to branch out of young adult fantasy, just because I feel like I'm a little too old for young adult now. The characters mostly just annoy me, so I'm trying to look for more adult fantasy books. And I really like the idea of an author being brought into his own book. I think that's really fun and unique, and it'll be interesting to see how the events unfold with that. So some new series that I've got first and second books in that I'm really looking forward to getting into. I would love to know if any of you have heard of these books before, or if you've read them, because aside from Hunted, I don't think I have heard of any of these books, and I'm really intrigued to know people's thoughts surrounding them and things like that. And that'll definitely make me want to pick them up a lot sooner. So really would love to hear your thoughts. And if you know anything about these books, please do let me know in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!